Hi everyone, welcome to my channel BioCatalyst 2021. In this video, we will start the next kingdom, that is kingdom fungi, where we will study the general characteristics of this kingdom. So let's start. Mycology is the branch of biology which is concerned with the study of fungi. So earlier, mycology was regarded as a branch of botany, that is the branch of plants. So why was it? Because fungus seemed to be more closely related to plants because they are immotile and they look more like plants. That is why mycology was earlier placed under the branch of botany. But now it is known that fungi are genetically more closely related to animals than to plants. So biologists now have removed mycology from the branch of botany. Instead, they have placed it under the branch of biology. General characteristics, they are the principal decomposers in the ecosystem. Now, what are decomposers? Decomposers are those organisms that help in decomposition of organic matter. That is, they help the decomposition process where the solid or the more complex structure are changed into simpler forms so that they can be absorbed. So, we can look in the picture that there are various kind of decomposers shown. Along with fungi, there are bacteria, protists, insects and worms. But fungi are placed on the top because they are the principal or the main decomposers in the ecosystem. They have great diversity in morphology and habitat. Now, what is morphology? Morphology means appearance, their external structure, form, shape. So they have a great diversity in their morphology. They are found in different shapes and forms. And they also have different habitat, various kinds of habitats they are found in. So let's study what kind of habitats they are found in. They are abundant worldwide. They are cosmopolitan. They occur in air, water, soil, plants and animals. And other than that, they can also be found in extreme environments like hypersaline environment or also under water. Now here we can see there is a picture of moist bread on which fungus is growing, and it can be also it can easily grow on rotten fruits. The favorable conditions for fungus to grow is warm and humid environment. So especially during rainy season, you all must have noticed that there are small mushrooms that grow in lawns or on wooden blocks or on the. Why? Because the temperature is a little towards the higher side when it rains and there is a lot of moisture. So that is a favorable condition for these particular organisms to grow at fast pace, and so they grow and they become easily visible. Otherwise, actually fungi are seem to be inconspicuous because of their small structures, but because when they form these fruiting bodies like mushrooms or molds, then they actually become visible to us. Let's study their structure. Only yeast is unicellular, others are filamentous. So yeast is the only organism which is unicellular and is placed under kingdom fungi. Others are all filamentous, that is, others filamentous forms are all multicellular. Cell wall consists of chitin and polysaccharides, and chitin is a very peculiar characteristic feature for an organism to be placed under kingdom fungi. Body has thread-like structures called hyphae. They may be several centimeters long. Now look at the picture here. There is a long thread-like structure. So if we are talking of one single thread-like structure, singular, then it is called hypha. And if there are many, then it is called hyphae. That is more than one, then it is called hyphae. And let us take up one question also, that yeast is unicellular eukaryotic organism. And we had discussed earlier that in kingdom Protista, all the unicellular eukaryotic organisms are placed. Then why is yeast placed in kingdom fungi? Why is it not placed in kingdom Protista? The reason being presence of chitin in its cell wall. And that is why yeast is placed in kingdom fungi. Mycelium is a network of hyphae. So when many hyphae they come close together, some of those hyphae fuse and they form a network, and that network of hyphae is called mycelium. Mycelium is of two types, septate and cenocytic. So let's look at the figure. Septate mycelium, from the word we can understand that they have septa between their walls, their cells. That is, they have cross walls present in their hyphae. And when these cross walls are present, they have one single nucleus in each cell. That is, their uninucleated structures if we consider every cell in it. So that is a septate structure. Cenocytic mycelium is the one in which there is a continuous tube which is filled with multinucleated cytoplasm. Why? Because there is absence of any septa. There is no septa present, and only the nuclei, they flow and they move from one place to the other in a continuous tube-like fashion. So septate is the one which contains septa, and cenocytic mycelium do not contain any septa. Nutrition. These organisms are entirely heterotrophic. That is, they cannot prepare their own food and they have to depend on other organisms for their nutrition. Now let's see what kind of nutrition they can have. They can be saprophytes, parasites, or can live as symbionts. So saprophytes, we know, any organism that feeds on dead decaying organic matter is a saprophyte. That is, they are decomposers then. They can be parasites when they live on or inside a living host, and they can live as symbionts. Now what is symbionts? Symbionts are those organisms which live in close physical association with each other and benefit each other. There is a mutual relationship, and this process is called symbiosis. This kind of association is called symbiosis. Lichen is a peculiar example of symbiosis, where the symbionts are fungus and alga. Alga prepares the food and gives the nutrients to fungus, and the fungus provides protection and provides moisture to alga so that it can prepare its food. So it's a mutual relationship. Another example of symbionts is mycorrhizae. Mycorrhizae is a close association of a fungus with the roots of higher plants. So these are the two examples of symbionts. Reproduction. These organisms have three types of reproduction: vegetative, asexual, and sexual reproduction. Vegetative reproduction is further of three types, where they can have vegetative reproduction either by fragmentation, fission, or budding. We will do it in detail when we are studying each phylum. Asexual reproduction occurs by spore formation, and these spores are either called sporangiospores or zoospores. Sexual reproduction occurs again by spore formation, and the kind of spores which are formed by sexual reproduction are oospores, ascospores, and basidiospores. These spores which are formed by the sexual reproduction are produced by distinct structures which are called fruiting bodies. So we will study reproduction, sexual reproduction, and uses in the next video. I hope you have understood what kind of habitat these organisms are found in, what kind of structure do they have, what is hypha, what is hyphae, what is mycelium, what are the various kinds of mycelium, and what are the various kinds of reproduction that these organisms have. So if you like my video, then do subscribe my channel and do not forget to like, share, or comment. Thank you.